Hello, and welcome to the 10th season of the Hive.
Go Yellow Jacket Photojournalism students!
This year celebrates both Mr. Adams' video production class, Photojournalism, as well as this video news program, The Hive. To kick off this year, our first story is...
That's a nice mask you're on. What's going on there?
Well, as you know, there's been a worldwide pandemic raging across the globe. Where have you been?
Don't be rude, Shy.
Enough! As Shai so kindly reminded us, COVID has changed our lives since earlier this year. Our first story covers just that. Feelings of LHS's faculty and staff.
Speaking of that, let's take a look.
I think our students at Lebanon High School are doing a great job. I think the high school's handling it very well, physically distancing, wearing masks, assigning seats, and washing hands.
What I find super interesting about that is that I really thought the school was not handling it well, and then I hear literal horror stories from my friends around about how they're going 5 days a week, kids are getting COVID, but they're not shutting down, they're not going hybrid.
Oh, really well. I think it was really adults that had the big attitudes.
I think the obvious strength to the hybrid model is that we have fewer people here, and that allows a greater opportunity for teachers to work in small groups with students versus having everyone here.
We get to have smaller classes so we can build relationships with students that might have hidden in the corner and been a little quieter.
I know this is a very unconventional school year that we are all going through, students and teachers and admin and parents in the community. Some of the good things is that we've still been able to meet in person.
I think a lot of the teachers have been handling it pretty okay.
It's handling it better than I thought it would. I sort of expected this to be some sort of dumpster fire.
It's just with all this Canvas stuff and with hybrid mostly mixing into it, a lot of things are just switched around compared to what I'm used to, so it's like all over the place.
And I would say it probably took my students probably until week 8 to get into a rhythm of, hey, you have to work on virtual days.
I'm most worried about grades. Some students think that they can get by without doing the stuff at home, and those people are failing.
If I can't be here, then I can't teach, and my students don't get what they need, so I feel like I need to know even more to protect myself.
I know the students struggle with sometimes the scheduling, what to do at school, what to do online.
There's not that school setting, which for some people it can be really disorienting.
I find myself having to pick and choose some things that are important and that they're going to be tested over.
So I liked what Mr. Redmond actually said to me on Friday. We were talking. He said he's teaching his butt off on the days that kids are here, and I think that's important. So it puts a lot of pressure on students to do what they're supposed to be doing.
I really am very appreciative of our teachers who are working very hard. I'm also very proud of our students. Without their hard work and without their commitment, this would be a lot more challenging for sure.
And go Yellow Jackets!
Wow, that was worth 3 months of our time.
Absolutely.
I don't think so.
Lebanon High School's band recently finished their virtual concert performances. Let's check out the first one, up next, on The Hive.
Of this summer, the high school art department set out to paint a mural representing Lebanon's history. Up next, the Hive, coverage of the mural's story and development.
At the beginning of August, the Lebanon High School art students painted a mural downtown on the Hogan Land Title building. We depicted a vintage style postcard that says Lebanon, and inside the letters and outside the letters told the story of Lebanon, from our scenery to our history to the things that we manufacture. And then to the left of the vintage postcard, we depicted Lebanon's master storyteller, Eleanor Ford. The mural was also a tribute to her and her over 40 years in education.
Exceeded my expectations, 100%. I asked Ms. Barker about doing a mural, and she actually gave me this idea that somebody wanted a vintage postcard with like Lebanon and have like images of Lebanon-esque things in it. And so we have like the school districts and like the magnetic well, which is like how Lebanon pretty much got its start. Route 66, obviously. I'm really glad we got the permission to use the Osage seal, and then like scenic riverways that we have.
Our next segment is on Transgender Day of Awareness. This is a one-week celebration in November which aims to raise common knowledge of the transgender community through education. Up next are some personal interviews with LHS students on the matter.
My name is Johnny. I'm a transgender man, and I use he, him pronouns. It's a day to remember those that did not make it, or those that we've lost to numerous circumstances, whether that be murder or suicide. Really, trans women of color, the average life expectancy for a trans woman of color is from 35 to 37 years old. But I've definitely had a lot of shit from cis women. I've had people talk about what's in my pants, which is uncomfortable. I've had not good experiences with family regarding it, especially a lot of intentional misgendering and dead naming. There are some people in this school who may not like the idea of the school participating in Trans Day of Remembrance, but for the trans students in this school, and trans and non-binary students in this school, I think it would be very, very important to them.
Hi, I'm Mars. I'm non-binary. I go by they, them. In a small town, the LGBTQ and the trans community don't really get noticed a lot, if any, and even then it's most likely going to be negative or put into a negative light. So I think that we should really bring this out into the light. I don't understand why people would use their religion to be so bigoted towards others when their religion tells them to be kind to all and treat each other with respect. I would say yes, but they like to hide it a little bit. I would not really know any examples because I've only been here 3 years. I don't really know anybody here. They are kind of religiously based. The parents that are raising the kids that go to this school, the school will receive a lot of backlash, but personally I think that's backlash that should be received just so that everybody, we need to be noticed. It's not fair that we get to be bullied and pushed aside.
My gender identity is trans female. When I first came out, a lot of people thought I was just confused, and I understand that because a lot of kids do get confused and it's not really their fault. I know for a fact I don't want to be a guy, so yeah. And I haven't really had any major problems with it. I'm very aware of what's been happening in the news, especially in the past few months. Before the election, in the past few months, there was a lot of stuff going around. Trump trying to take away trans rights for healthcare and the right to be non-discriminated against in restaurants and hospitals and stuff like that. The laws don't really affect me much. I know they affect a lot other people, but they haven't affected me much, thankfully. I know a few of my friends have gotten more backlash than I have. Things I could change here at Lebanon, definitely the acceptance, because I know as a job, the teachers are required to not bully students, and it's a thing. And the teachers here are really good about it, but I know in other schools they're not.
We continue with our showing of the band concerts. Up next is the Christmas song.
Next up, it's Kababi Beya.
In September, over a course of a week, he painted a mural in the Dami hallway.
Let's check it out.
Week doing a mural in the school on the wall. She wanted to have something that came from a global perspective, just to get the kids to see something outside of the environment, but also that with including what is known here in the community, so that you have a combination of both. And sir.
Showing his work to the students, and then as I was following him on Instagram, I started to see the school mural projects, and I just thought, how could we bring him here? And that led to the Missouri Art Council grant that I wrote up at the beginning of this year, and here he is. Woo.
Yeah, I'm out of St. Louis, Missouri, and I've been a professional artist since '95. Yeah, I've been doing it ever since I graduated college. Most of my themes usually include family, children, music. A lot of the murals that I do are, representation, inclusion, and yeah, just try to break stereotypes. So I usually do a little girl playing football, or a little boy dancing, ballet. I just try to mix it up and put what you don't see all the time, just to paint the possibilities. So that's the direction I like to go.
I'm just totally elated. I love every bit of this.
For our last band performance,
Let's gallop into our last show.
Our final band performance is Comedians Gallop.
The Sound House is a place for kids to hang out, have fun, and get together after school. Our next segment showcases the Sound House and what it's all about.
Let's check it out. Check it out. Yes.
Please join us for Giving Tuesday on December 1st. My name is Shannon Williams and I'm the program counselor at the Sound House. We need your help to continue to provide the vital resources to our youth in order to give them a brighter future.
Hello, my name is Leslie Scott and I'm the building manager here at Project 360. I work closely with my staff to ensure that our at-risk and homeless teens receive the utmost benefits they deserve. Please join us December 1st for Giving Tuesday and check our Facebook for more updates.
Every month, a shining group of students are chosen to be star students for exemplifying the jacket code. The culinary arts class takes the liberty of serving these kids food for their luncheon. For our final story this episode, let's see all the work that goes into these lunches. Let's take a look.
Once a month, the culinary arts classes prepare a full course meal for our star students and teachers.
Aubrey is a delight. She is always willing to lead discussion and get work done. She works hard to get her grades, and she is very motivated student.
That's interesting because none of your chefs yesterday wanted to be
I was
chefs.
gonna say, I've got one that has just recently changed from chef into possibly being a writer.
Yeah.
She wants to be a travel writer, but do that towards the culinary world. So.
Well, that'll be interesting.
For the Hive, this is Dylan Carragher with Alex Applegate.
Well, this concludes episode 1 of season 10 of The Hive. I'd like to thank my co-hosts, Shai and Gage, for working with me on this extensive venture. We'd like to thank the rest of the Hive team for contributing to this episode, including Alex Applegate, Dylan Carragher, Aiden Charlton, and Mr. Adams for making this possible. The Hive will return next year with all new episodes, so stay tuned for 2021 for more content covering the latest stories in the greatest high school in America. Until then, this has been Abram Barker,
Shai House,
Gabe Hinkle,
for The Hive.